So where's Nick going today? Well, today I'm off to the Champlain Causeway. Right there. Or, I think, I'm holding nothing. This is all editing. So today is the maiden voyage of that truck bed camper that I showed off in my last video. We're going to be heading out to the causeway between the mainland and Grand Isle up here in Vermont. But first, we have one very important stop to make. Hi, could I just have a large fries, please? Thanks. All right. Step one is out of the way. Now, we can keep going. So here I am at the causeway between mainland Vermont and Grand Isle. It's a bit windy today, and we might get some rain and thunderstorms later tonight, but it should be a good time anyway. So the last video I showed you my little camping setup back here. I've since added my sleeping bag, camping chair, bag of stuff, water, all the important things. So it should be a pretty comfortable night, even if it does rain. And for now, let's walk around a bit, explore the area. So I've gone ahead and walked over to the other side of the causeway here. There's a lot less wind, and the traffic's a little quieter. Yeah, you can still hear it though. Thought maybe we'd explore this area a little bit. Just see what's up. So I've explored around, seen about all there is to see. I'm really hoping everybody can hear me over the wind, because it is pretty windy out here. It's starting to spit a little bit of rain. But for now, I'm going to climb up here and eat that nice snack I bought a few minutes ago. Healthy. You know, something beautiful about sitting here on the roof of the truck in 20-mile-an-hour winds, eating large fries from McDonald's. A certain feeling, kind of feeling that it creates. Something you don't get anywhere else. I don't know what it is, but it's good. Okay, well, I've done my exploring, so let's get on in here and start setting up for the night. So I've got light in here in the form of an LED headlamp. It's small, but you can see it's pretty bright. So that should keep me well lit when I need it tonight. And we'll see how this goes. I don't know how well the microphone on my phone is going to pick this up, but you can hear the wind is really howling through there. So for ventilation tonight, I've got this cracked open just a little bit. The latches are resting on the outside there. And I've got this back window open. I'll probably close this once it gets closer to nighttime and time to turn on the lights. I'm not exactly sure about the rules about camping around here, but I've definitely seen campers and small RVs parked out here overnight, and there are no signs around that say no camping or no overnight parking, so I think I'm pretty much all set. And if anybody comes along, well, I'll just move. Not a big deal. Can find another spot. Especially if it's a Karen. I don't know if you've ever had a confrontation with a Karen. They rant and rave and yell at you, and you just kind of let the tirade bounce off of you. And then you go back to doing whatever it is you were doing. Because chances are you were doing something perfectly rational, and they are not in their rational mind. Hopefully I don't encounter one of those. I'd rather encounter a cop. So a cop car just drove down that way, and it sounded like he pulled right out of here. And so I don't know if he was just pulled over or looking in or what was going on. I'm going to go ahead and close that up a little bit. Keep that cracked for ventilation. I'm going to be on the lookout for him. I didn't hear him, but we'll see. So before it gets too dark, I'm going to attempt to make myself a little something to eat. Now I'm sure I'll get flack for cooking in here, so I'll say that I've got every single window open for ventilation. I'm right near the tailgate so I can shove anything out that catches fire. And don't try this at home or out camping. Let's take a look at what I got here. Big bottle of water. I've got a can of Campbell's cream of chicken soup, pot, lighter, some spaghetti that I may or may not use, and I've got a little camping stove here that uses these solid fuel cubes. And it burns things pretty quick. So I should have this water boiling in no time. So these little fuel cubes are nice. You just pop open the stove, stick one in, and light it up. Bit tough to see at first, but it is lit. There you go, you can start to see it. Now, like I said, I've got all the windows open for ventilation, so it should be just fine. Got some water in the pot, spaghetti already in there. And I'll just pop that on top. Very carefully. I've got this little block underneath the stove, just so if the stove gets hot, it doesn't burn the truck bed. Or melt the truck bed, I should say. It's not going to burn anything except the fuel cube inside. So that's going to go. And then once the spaghetti is just about ready, I will open and stir in my Campbell's cream of chicken soup. So it's only been about 2 minutes so far, but you can see bubbles already starting to form in the bottom of the soup there. That hexamine stuff burns pretty hot. And it's a good thing everything's ventilated. I'm sitting right here by the fresh air. That hexamine stuff doesn't smell that good, so I'm happy to have the windows open. I don't recommend cooking indoors, but it's what's happening now. So I've just added the canned cream of chicken soup, a little bit more water, very carefully stirring that up now. That and some spaghetti noodles. It's going to be a good dinner. Alright, my fuel cube is burned out, my stove is off. Actually, it's not even hot anymore. And I have 1 pot of chicken noodle soup. Let's give it a taste. Okay, first taste of my chicken noodle soup here. Oh, that is good. That is really good. You know, it's just canned soup and rehydrated dried pasta, but it's also got that special flavor of being cooked in a truck bed on a causeway. That's good stuff. This camera doesn't do justice to how well you can actually see the light I have in there, but that's going to be covered. Do a quick walk around and see how much you can actually see inside. So that quick test showed me that you can only see inside a very, very small amount, and even then only if you're right up against the truck. So I don't think anybody passing by or even just walking by is going to notice that we're in here. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure that camping out here is against the law or anything. Maybe it's a bit of a gray area, but I see no camping, no overnight parking signs. I've seen campers and RVs here before, so I think we're good. So before I hang up my privacy blanket on the back window, I'll show you this. I've got this ratchet strap set up as sort of a rudimentary security system of sorts. Easy enough for me to undo from the inside, but if somebody were to try and make their way in overnight, I don't want to think about it, but I suppose that is a possibility. So this is just enough to make sure that they're stymied and can't get on in, and give me enough time to wake up and pull this guy out. An enormous hunting and camping knife that I accidentally bought once, and a little one too. I say accidentally because I should have read the description better and understood exactly how long of a blade I was buying. But I'm glad to have it now, just in case. So my privacy blanket is up. There's still enough ventilation coming in, especially over here, that I shouldn't hate myself in the morning for deciding to come out here. Won't be too hot. Got my window back here cracked. I think we're going to have a comfortable night. Okay, well, everything's in place. I'm going to settle in with some Netflix on my iPad by the light of my glowing water bottle. And see you guys in the morning. Good morning, everyone. So last night was interesting. You might be able to hear it still, but the wind never let up. And at about 2 a.m., it started pouring rain, which would have been okay, except I had my ventilation open. And so it started coming in through here because it was so windy. Fortunately, I had my privacy blanket up, and it soaked the blanket instead of soaking me. So I'm okay with that. And apparently it was really windy because some things dry now. At about 11:30 or midnight or so, a car pulled up next to me. Why they pulled up next to me instead of using all the rest of that space out there, I'm not sure. They decided to pull up right next to me. But it made me glad that my latex paint isn't so durable, because that's where they pulled up. And I could look out every now and then to make sure nobody was coming to kill me. So for the most part, it was just me out here last night. So other than the wind, got a decent looking morning out here. Aside from the fact that I didn't sleep too well, I'd say it was an overall successful night. But I guess any night that I camp out and don't get bothered by anybody is a successful night in my book. So I'm going to clean up, pack everything away, and head home. Well, everything's all packed up and I'm ready to get going. So thanks for joining me on my first overnight in the truck camper. It was pretty cool sleeping out here on the causeway. I was surprised how little road noise there was. It's just that wind. That answers today's video's question, where'd Nick go? See you next time.